You are more capable than you will ever realize, and you have a lot more going on for you than you think. What's going on? You're listening to episode 44 of the Perspective Podcast, and I'm your host, Scotty.D.Russell of Perspective Collective. This show is all about carving out time to build something for yourself. So whether you have a day job like I do, or other types of responsibilities like kids or other kinds of commitments, this show is for you. And today is July 31st, and I'm recording this on my birthday. That's my impression of Bill Burr. I don't know if you listen to Bill Burr, but I'm obsessed with that dude lately. My favorite comedian, and I'm in a fantastic mood. I took the day off so I could work on this all day. It's been a pretty busy weekend, but I wrote this as a blog post first. A lot of these start as blog posts because I like to write, and it really helps me flush ideas out, and then they turn into podcast episodes. And I had this idea over the weekend because there's been a lot of moments up and down this summer, and I guess in my life in general, that I doubt myself. I doubt a lot of my abilities. And a funny thing that I like to do is literally I will talk to myself at times. As weird as that shit sounds, I talk to myself, and I try to convince myself that things are possible, and why can't they be? Why isn't this stuff possible for me, and why aren't these things possible for you? And that's what sparked this episode. It's a little more serious, even though I'm in a goofy, peppy-ass mood. And I hope it's the boost you need this midweek on this lovely Wednesday. That's another Bill Burr. I'm sorry. I'll go back to being me. But I hope this resonates with you too and provides that little pick-me-up you need today. Let's get into the show. How many times in life have you talked yourself out of something? How many times has that inner critic convinced you there's no way you can do that? It's impossible. Well, I spent the majority of my life letting my inner critic drag me down. And it's taken a long time for me to get to the point where I can object and stand up for myself. Why not me? Why can't I be a successful artist / designer in my tiny corner of Iowa? Why can't I become a professional podcaster, a traveling keynote speaker? Why not me? On those days where I'm convinced it feels like I'm going in the right direction, there are just some days you're feeling it, like the universe is this source of creative intuition, and it's nudging you along the path you're supposed to follow. Like everything is going right for you. And I'm almost positive this is how Kobe felt the day he dropped 81 points on the Raptors. Everything was going for him. That dude was in the zone. And if you didn't know, I'm a huge Laker fan, so I might let that shine through a little bit more in the podcast. However, on most days for me, this divine source of creative intuition, these things don't come so easy. My mind automatically defaults to doubt, so it takes a lot of effort and a lot of repetitive self-talk to convince myself it's possible. I feel a little bit weird saying this, but I'm cool with you. I trust you. You won't judge me. I shit you not. I will stare intensely at the inner critic in the mirror and repeat to myself, why not me? Until I start convincing myself that it's possible, or until I creep myself the fuck out after just staring and talking to myself in the mirror a couple times. So talk to yourself. Self-talk is important. Good self-talk, I should say, because we are already pros at the negative self-talk. Okay, we're born naturals. At least I know I am. So try it sometimes, even if it feels weird. Say to yourself, why not you? Why can't you make these things happen in your life? Why can't you be happy building something that you love and enjoy? If it's something you're good at and it's something you're passionate about, it's not impossible. But it's also not going to be easy. My coach, Rick Willis, during football at Wartburg College, used to drill it in our head that If it was easy, everyone would do it. And at the time, football would just kick our ass. It was not easy. 2-a-days, early morning lifting sessions at like 5 a.m., conditioning, lots of film, tons of meetings. It was a 7-day-a-week job, basically, playing college football, even just at the D3 level. I know that's nothing fancy, but at the D3 level, you're playing because you're passionate about this. You're not getting paid. You can't get scholarships. You're just passionate about the game and passionate about being part of something that's bigger than yourself. And that's what sports and football were for me. And as cliche as it sounds, if it was easy, everyone would do it. That's practically relevant to every aspect of life. And because it requires effort, many people are hesitant to pursue whatever it is for them. Whether it is your own personal freelance business or some type of side project, or maybe something outside of creative design. Maybe it's just working to get back in shape, or working to establish better relationships, or get out of your comfort zone, or take the next step in your full-time job, or become a better parent. I don't know what that shit is, but whatever it is for you, it's going to require effort. And for a lot of people, and I know for me, for the majority of my life, it was so much easier to let that inner critic run every minute of your life, which causes you to passively exist or complain about the circumstances that supposedly hold you back. And from my experiences of letting that inner critic be in the driver's seat, I personally feel that you pay the cost of living with regret. So I want to challenge you to challenge yourself. When you want to do something and that inner critic injects doubt into your mind, talk to yourself. Preferably in your own head if you're around other people. I don't want people getting the wrong idea and thinking you're a crazy person. And repeat to yourself, why not me? And mean it. Say it to yourself as many times as necessary until you start believing it. Once you start believing it, act on it. The mind is a powerful machine, and it can either be your ally or your enemy. After letting my inner critic kick my ass for well over 23 years, not to mention the past 4 years of dealing with anxiety, I've learned one valuable thing. Having the proper mindset and some type of belief in yourself or your abilities can get you to practically anywhere you want to be in life, or at least get you on the road working towards something. When I started convincing myself that I could become a great artist in the middle of bumfuck Iowa, everything changed. When I decided I'm going to try and make a name for myself through blogging, teaching, speaking, and podcasting, everything changed. None of this would have happened if I wasn't challenging that inner critic with reaffirming self-talk. Like, I have to do this every day still. Like, it's still easy to doubt it. I have to reaffirm and convince myself and object and stand up for myself. Basically, I had to change my way of thinking. I had to change my perspective. For things to change, you have to change. It's all in your mind. You are more capable than you will ever realize, and you have a lot more going on for you than you think. Why not you? And why not now? I hope this episode was maybe the boost you needed on this Wednesday, especially if you're having a hard week and you're kind of beating yourself up over things that are within your control or out of your control. You are very capable. And this was also a podcast episode for myself that I can come back and listen to when I need a kick in the ass. If you're finding value in the show, there's a couple ways that you can give back. Over at patreon.com/perspectivepodcast, there's a way for you to pledge and donate $1, $3, $5, or even more per episode, whatever's within your means. And doing so massively helps me cover the cost of getting new equipment, keeping up with hosting, and all the time, energy, money, and resources that go into producing this podcast for you, especially outside of the day job and trying to keep up with all the other facets of life. That's one way to support the show. The other way is just by providing a quick ratings and review over on iTunes. This makes a huge impact for people to discover the show, as well as understand what this show is about and how this show could be for them. And something new I want to start doing as I approach this 1-year anniversary here in a couple weeks is reading off a review from someone like you who is a listener. And this one comes from Black and Proud, and he titled it Concentrated Possibility. He says, my man Scotty here has managed to tap into the source of positivity and creative motivation, and he's giving it away. Drink deep. You got this. Thank you so much, and if you ever leave a ratings or review, I will happily read it on the show and give you a plug as well. Within a couple weeks, I will be speaking at Weapons of Mass Creation, and that is through August 18th through 21st. I'll be speaking on that Saturday as the closer. I know there's still some tickets left. This is going to be so rad. I can't wait to party with the Cleveland fam and drop this speech that I've been working on my friends and whoever's in the audience. I'm going to pour my heart and soul into it, and I'm definitely going to bring it. I can promise you that. I need to give a huge thank you and shout out to Nick Jenkins of Blookah for all the dope theme music that you hear on this show. You can find more of him over at soundcloud.com/Blookah. That's BLOOKAH. And as always, I want to thank you for lending me your ears and just time out of your existence to spend this time with me. I want to encourage you to keep showing up, keep putting in the work, and keep creating. You got this.